What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Here's the Scenario. If you're new here, I'll explain the show real quick. You send us questions, would you rathers, Mary F. kills, just anything that you can think of in that deranged brain of yours. Send it to us, and we will answer all of your questions. I am one of your hosts, Brendan Sagalow, being joined with me, as always,
by Mike Feeney. And also,
what'd you do to this?
It's broken.
You broke it.
I didn't break it.
It's the easiest thing to
I
operate
pressed
in the
start
entire
and
world.
stop, and it wasn't doing it, which is why I handed it to you.
Yeah, and now it's
Who's
only
talking?
like
Oh, shit.
Mike Cannon. Hello, everybody.
Yay.
Brendan has broken everything.
I've also been turning up the wrong dial and going, why isn't it getting louder? I've been turning up this side's microphone.
Oh.
If you want to send us questions, just do it at the Instagram or just go to here'sthescenario.com. That's where you can get it. That's where you can get all of our stuff, where you could follow us, keep track. Join the Patreon. That's huge, too. We'd love to see it. We have all this extra content. We got new stuff that we're just pouring into there.
It's burning up. It's hot. It's hot on the Tron.
Yeah,
man.
dude. It's real hot on the Tron. I got a weight loss thing going, which I have some crazy ideas for that I'm
Nice.
gonna. And we got Snarky, Feeney's solo pod, which people have been telling me is very funny. People are like,
oh, great.
yeah, I should probably tell you that more. But people come up, they're like, Feeney's video.
People have been
Feeney's solo."
complimenting you through me,
Yeah,
and I've been holding
for
on
weeks.
to them as my own accomplishments.
Waiting to parcel them out when I
just
feel you need a boost.
I memorize it in my head, but I replace the name. So they're like, you know who's really funny? Brendan Sagalow.
That's-
Feeney.
Dude, I guarantee that you just got more tired by giving him that compliment. Like it sapped you of a little bit of energy.
I gotta
I'm
tell you.
alive.
That
gotta
was
tell you
feeding
something.
me.
Well, it does make me uncomfortable to do something good, which I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to be
How good of you?
uncomfortable.
What do you mean it makes you uncomfortable to do something good?
I don't know, dude.
What's that true thing
That'll
you
be
just-
on the therapy cast.
That was a crazy thing you just
Yeah,
slid
dude.
in there
You should
expecting people to relate to.
You
Yeah.
should just Zoom record. The screen is recording. You do that with Alan, and then just post that as a podcast. And it's just your actual
Honestly?
therapy.
The Alan
Honestly,
tapes?
yeah. I'll cut him out of it, though. Have him have like a voice like this.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I wonder if he would let you do that.
he wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
I don't think so.
What if they blurred out his face?
He'd be.
Well, don't film it. It's just an audio.
No, I'm saying YouTube too. I want to see Brendan cry.
I've never cried. I've
Yeah.
never cried
What?
in therapy. No, never. I've gotten close. I talked to Mike about this, and he says the same thing every time. I get close, and then I hold it in, and Mike, every time I say that, Mike goes, "Oh, that's good."
I mean, it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for.
It seems like the complete opposite of what you should be doing. Yeah. Safe space to let it all out. It's all about growth. Years later, same
I know.
I couldn't do that in acting. Maybe now, but I couldn't. I never used to be able to do that when I was taking acting classes and stuff. With that, they tried to. They quickly found out. The teacher, she was like, "Okay, you can do comedy. You obviously can do anything where you're angry. Like you're good at
Cool.
those scenes, at doing like angry guy explosive scenes. But she's like, so she purposely gave me sad stuff to do and monologues and all those kinds of things. And one of them was like some other sort of like breakup scene or something where I was supposed to cry. And like, dude, it was just, I felt my face getting hot. And I was like, here it is. And also, by the way, you're in a private rental space with like 7 other kids watching you and like 2 of them on their phone, you know? And then I felt my face getting hot, and then I went like, nah, I put my head in my hands to be like, I'll sell that maybe. And if anything, maybe the cry will come from not seeing out of the periphery 9 other kids going like this, watching me.
Yeah.
And it didn't come. But I got real hot face, and I think I got a little teary-eyed.
2 things is one is like that's like Feeney's origin story. That is like the spider biting your hand, and then you becoming the cold-blooded.
Yeah, you're like, I'll
never.
never try to cry again.
I get up and just go,
What?
never again.
Yeah.
I will never hot face myself again.
You know that hot face feeling, though?
I do, of course. And then the second is like I would pay untold sums of money to watch that.
I know.
Like, man, you described.
Well, there were
that
other
made me
comics.
so happy.
There were other comics in the class too. I'm trying to think of who else.
That's impossible. You
Yeah,
can't, like
it was tough.
You can't cry.
There was maybe
a
other.
I almost said
one
I
other
could do that.
comedian. Yeah.
Could you?
I don't know.
Could you do it on the podcast? Could you cry?
It would take a while. I'm not good at that, but I mean, you mean like
does sound
cry
like a
from an emotion or like try to make myself
Like do
cry?
make yourself cry. Like do an acting exercise where we get in the moment and you get emotional and cry.
Go.
Maybe it'd be
This
very
sounds
hard.
like a Patreon thing, not necessarily here for the free.
Yeah, it
or
would be-
stringent.
Some people could do it on demand, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
10 seconds in and
I've
out.
also never done it before, so it would take a while. It probably wouldn't happen.
If
But
you
we,
give
if we
me-
did it every day,
If you give
maybe.
me 35 seconds in the other room with Fire and Rain playing, I'll come out here.
Give me. I'll. It's so funny to walk out of a room like we're expecting slow, subtle tears, and you're coming up. You got fucking saliva all over you. But anyway, that's not what the show is. Let's answer some of your questions. I think.
Yeah, you're hypothetical.
The first one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Did we not do one?
No, and we're. What is that?
We still
seconds?
haven't- We still
Are
haven't
we
cursed.
4 seconds?
I don't think we've cursed.
I did say the F word for a second, but I think we can hide it
We
out
also
with all
said
of our
fuck.
yelling.
Okay.
Oh, nice. This is an edgy cast. This one,
we knew that the second we saw the Carhartt hat.
yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Soft Hands, never manual labor.
My hands are anything but soft. I have chameleon hands.
Yeah, but the
Chameleon.
palms are pretty tender.
Good. These are for loving.
All
right.
Backside's for burning, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, because of your eczema.
Smacking.
Because of your
Red.
eczema, if you ever get a gal super duper wet and you're also chafing at the same time,
Oh.
do you form some sort of paste inside of her?
Well, no.
Question the first.
Well, no.
That was our first hypothetical.
This is a would you rather that's originally from Tom Segura and Christina P. So I didn't come up with it, but it's fun for the holidays. Love
Cool.
that.
Love it.
He asks, so you're at a large family gathering with your aunts, uncles, cousins, parents, etc. With everyone in the same room. Would you rather whip out your dick, masturbate to completion, or have to live with the results from that? Oh, and have to live with the results from that. Or would you rather have all of your family masturbate themselves while they finish onto you with their jizz and squirt? Thanks, Josh. So, would you rather masturbate to completion in front of your entire family or have your entire family masturbate to completion on you?
Do they come at the same time as like?
I think they all go at their own pace.
Yeah, which would
so
be
you gotta
really
sit there for a
annoying.
month.
I gotta go. I mean,
It's a
but
numbers
also
game from
to
there.
completion for you in front of your entire family.
That's hard.
is
I mean, we're
gonna
talking
be-
about trying to cry. Imagine trying to cry out of your dick.
Yeah. Do you get a minute in the back room and then you can come in?
Now you can
I'm
just
gonna
come
say
in
no.
running ready to
So you
I'm
got to
gonna
whip
say
it
no.
out from just ground zero. You got to muster up
Yeah.
a boner.
from
It's-
Thanksgiving table soft.
Yeah, right.
Oh, stuffed too? Are you,
Yeah.
are you stuffed in
Yeah,
tie-tie?
you just put down the gravy.
all
the
tryptophan.
gravy ladle.
I'm picturing it you and then your uncle dresses Santa comes in and gives everybody gifts. So you're the opening act to Santa by jerking off to completion.
So I think for me, I do like the idea of challenging myself to be able to do that. Like I would like to know if I have that in me.
I also bet that feels great.
Oh, dude, to just fucking look at it like and a lot of my aunts and uncles and extended family, I have like active problems with. So that would just be the ultimate. Just I own this city, you know. Like, but I do the thing that I could live with better is if they did it to me, because then I can be like reasonably disconnected from the family forever.
Yeah.
And also, but does that include
Can
my
you put
kid?
AirPods in?
Does that include
No,
does
since
Crew
since
jerk
Crew
off
can't
and come
come,
on
he
me?
just has to smack you in your
In-
face with
in
his
my-
dick.
on the lips or face?
Yeah, you just go.
What are you doing?
Well, let's. I'm just gonna be honest here. If my whole family is coming on me, I'm jerking off too. So
They won't be the only ones having fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an answer.
That's my.
You gotta fuck one of the cousins, right?
Well, if I think about it.
Thanks. That's
why I served it up like that, because I just wanted to see him truly contemplate it, and you didn't let me down.
I was thinking of every cousin.
If anything, you more confirmed.
I was thinking of every cousin I had.
Sure, just to see if there's one you're willing to break.
No,
your
yes,
morals
no,
for.
no, yes, no.
I'm looking at you, William. Get that ass ready. Yeah, no, I'd probably want to get just jerked off on, but then everybody kind of like, you're kind of everyone's bitch.
Yeah.
At that point. I would rather, what?
It doesn't say anything about you not allowed to punch each of them in the face directly after they come.
I'm jerking off in front of everybody, because if you can get
But
there.
then you're the only one, dude. They don't know that the option was them jerking off. So they don't know that they're also pieces of shit. They think
They think I just walked out of
you
the
just
bathroom.
walked out of nowhere and just started jerking off. So they have no context. They just think you're a
You're
monster.
losing your entire family.
You're losing your whole fucking family.
Yeah, everyone leaves after that.
Yeah, and probably your
Kicks you
career
out, I
if
would
Louis got in trouble. I mean, think about forcing your sister to watch you come.
I would blow up, dude. Imagine how much any of us would blow up if they were like, this comedian on Christmas forced his parents and family to watch him jerk off.
Oh, on Christmas?
I'm picturing Christmas. 'Cause
Why is it Christmas morning?
I love Christmas. It's not Christmas morning. It's Thanksgiving.
I said
Christmas Eve.
I said
I almost said Thanksgiving
Oh,
Eve.
man. So that means Nicole's
Christmas
entire
Eve.
Italian family and the 7 fishes are there.
Yeah. It's
I don't want the oyster to see my pecker.
It's the Christmas Eve party, so it might go over well. It depending on how much you guys party. My family goes kind of hard.
I'm trying to think if I could, like, with my family, Nicole's family included, obviously, I don't think I would be allowed to finish. I don't think they'd give me
You'd be
space
tackled.
and
Some dude would
opportunity
knock you the
You'd
fuck
be
out.
to
tackled.
do that. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
at first they'd be like, what the fuck, and probably angry. And then somebody at some point would recognize that I was either possessed or wildly mentally ill and needed to be cared for, as opposed to
I actually think you can save your family jerking off being you the one that jerks off, because again, it's a psychotic episode that is a mental break. So we got to get him into, we got to go into padded cell for a little while.
Yeah,
but
you're
I
in
think
fugue state.
when you come out of it, they're going to be like, it was like that guy.
Your
There was the
life
head of
is
that
ruined.
company, right? That sold it. They did the South Park thing where he was jacking it.
Yeah,
In San
jacking it
Diego?
San Diego.
Like he just went nuts and started running down the street jerking off. He was like,
Isn't that the Coney 2012 guy?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the
Will Sylvince.
But that was the weird part about it. But everybody kind of was like, no one goes, oh, that guy's a sexual deviant. Everyone goes, oh, that guy had a mental breakdown. And that's what they would think about that.
Right.
And they might even be more supportive.
I don't know.
might jerk off.
I'm taking.
That's the only
now,
way.
Life is a significantly different.
I think in order to make sure, so nobody has said that you can't behave or say anything during.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the action.
You got to go, booga ga boo
Oh,
boo.
dude, I'd be like,
yeah. I'd be like, jerk off to this.
it's
Gooba ga boo gooba ga boo ga.
I might just lean into it and just be their bitch, dude. I might just be like, yeah, daddy, like saying shit like that. Just make
To
him
your
trying to make
actual
him
daddy?
yeah, I guess so. I'm just trying to make him come quick.
You think
Get
you would?
into
You
it.
think you would
So that
convince
it's
your
weird
parents?
for everybody.
What do you think?
I
would
want
make
them-
What do you think as a single act would make your family as a collective unit come the fastest? Like what
Your
if
yearbook
you
photo?
really had to bring the sexy? If you had to do something that's like your hottest thing, and you think it would appeal to everyone, what would it be?
I would,
Dress up in his Mary Jean outfit?
yeah, I would take my
Mary
shirt
Jane.
off.
Oh yeah,
I would take my shirt off and kind of like,
Mary Jean.
yeah, you clicked right into it.
Yeah, he changed. He was like, as a Manchurian candidate.
Oh my god.
He just
I told
stands
you
up
when
and walks.
that's why I haven't written any Frank Rigatone recently. It's because when I play him, I have no choice.
Yeah,
It just comes up. It takes over for a few weeks,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
getting
goes
in too
away.
deep, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I think you know what you could do. Also, make it weird for your entire family. So, like, do the stuff that's like, ooh, be sexy. I'd take my shirt off. Oh, and just make them like, we didn't really think.
Yeah, but then that lasts longer.
Yeah,
because they have to come. Nobody can leave until they come on you.
That's
The
damn.
shower's rough. That's gonna be a rough shower.
You know what it is though with the jerking off in front of your family. It's like in that episode of Breaking Bad when he like goes missing for a day. So
yeah, the fugue state.
He takes off
That's
all.
what I said, yeah.
Yes, but it's that scene when he's talking to the doctor and the doctor's like, he wants to go. He knows he's lying.
Yeah.
And he's like, doctor, I just tried to get out of the hat. And they're like, no, dude, you're this is a sickness. And he's like, fuck, I'm trapped in this position now.
Yeah.
That's like what it would feel like to be like jerking off. Because at the end of it, everybody's like,
Yeah, then
what
you're in-
was that?
Then you're in a fucking coat, in a padded cell, and
Yeah.
you're all of a sudden like the guy who jerked off in front of his own family while,
if you're-
while murmuring.
But if you have no history with that, they'll probably keep you for a few weeks, monitor you.
Weeks.
Most time you're doing is I would say they would.
Can I
check
bring
that-
Nicole to film it for Patreon?
I would say they would check back after 2
Yeah.
weeks and see. I would say at most time you would serve for, or like in terms of being put in a hospital would be like 6 months at most. If they were like, we'll revisit this next quarter, and then you
Yeah.
said fuck you on the interview, and then had to wait another 3 months.
I would say a week. I would say they would put you in the hospital for a
I
week
think
if
you're
you did
both
that.
overestimating the care of the health community or
I don't know,
mental
dude.
institutions in general. It depends.
I know tons of people
it
that got
depends.
put into mental
No,
institutions.
I know. So do I. But it depends wholly
Tons?
on.
I know a good amount. I visited
I know
someone
a
in a
fair
mental
amount, too.
institution.
And
He's crazy.
Turns out, not a mistake.
Guy's nuts. Yeah.
such thing as a rightful conviction too. And so,
Jury's out. The guy's fucking loony.
yeah.
are we out? Do we have more
We
questions?
got more questions. Yeah. I didn't know we were gonna.
I mean, that whole thing is the clip, Nicole.
I love that everyone was trying so hard not to swear in the first minute, and we just talked about that for upwards of 10 minutes.
And that was in the 4th minute. we started
yeah,
that.
yeah. We're still like trying politely to be like, well, if you come, you know. We don't get into things as serious unless they're about dicks and pussies and
Yeah.
and we
Then
really
we really
take those-
bat it around.
We take those very seriously.
But that's what I like to do about these things. A lot of them, and some aren't not worthy, but some you just can't. But I like just picking apart the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like getting to all of
You
them.
got to.
For the mental stuff. First that sounded great, then it sounded awful, then
Yeah.
it sounded great again. And you're like, oh, you're just really you're really turning over the Rubik's Cube and trying to figure out everything.
I honestly don't know my answer still.
I mean,
Probably getting jerked off by the family.
convoy on not knowing.
All right, this one comes from Just Garch.
How you
It
doing,
wasn't a
Buster?
convoy.
He or
Not a
she
con-
or they. I think it's a he. That's
What?
funny to say. It's obviously a he, but to be like, I don't know what this is.
What's-
What's
the
obvious
picture?
about it?
Just the picture.
Oh.
To be to be like he, she, or they. I don't know. And it's like,
They
no, I'm so
identify as-
obviously a man.
Oh, that's gonna go down as the worst.
Should we do
thing
the
you've
always
ever said.
Officers?
Should we do the yeah?
They come in with furry handcuffs.
They won for his dick to tuck it back.
All right, here we go. Here's the scenario. You are driving a train and there are 2 possible tracks to drive on. The brakes are broken and on each track is one of your
Hang on. Because Feeney is you. I am the first one to lift you up and celebrate your incredible sound effect.
Yeah.
That
Not a
might
great
have been-
chain.
My mouth
train.
was dry.
Dude,
Not a great train.
that was a pigeon with dry wings trying to fly off a curb. That
Yeah.
was not a train.
Train is like the first
I also-
impression
and-
that you learn. too.
That was a
Yeah, yeah.
maraca.
But there you go. From the distance, I was trying to provide a bed.
Now that's a good train impression. I was trying to.
So much much gum under this chair.
Funniest part about laughing so hard that you fall to the ground is that you have to then get back up and pick yourself up, and you're like,
lumber.
you go, was that funny?
Dude, I threw myself on the ground. I didn't fall off. That made me. That really brought.
I had 4 different words I wanted to say, and they got jammed up.
It was just such a quick stutter that I just knew.
It was
that
cool.
was actually me on Legion of Skanks. When we did Skanks, dude, I got pretty easily bullied into taking a dab where I said no at first, and then Feeney was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Get me in."
I'll do 2.
Yeah. And then I kept pulling and not realizing that Lewis hadn't like removed the stem yet, and I was
so
like, "What the
thick,
fuck?"
The piece that he had,
and then I like.
But
Then Feeney's like, "No, you have to pull it," and I was like, "I thought I was done." And then I pulled,
pussy.
and then I pulled the whole thing and cleared it, and I just sat down, and I felt like I was being taken under the earth, like somebody grabbed my soul, dude, and dove it into a grave, and my eyes were like involuntarily closing. And
You
I
were
was
coughing for a good 15 minutes.
I had to move, I moved the mic away from me, and I was like, coughing, and then I tried to talk a couple times, and I was like, I had dry back of my throat, stuttering, nervous, like too scared to say something. And then this guy behind me kept going, "You got it, dude. You got this."
What?
And I'm like,
what?
Stop, man.
Did you mention that?
No.
Oh my.
No.
At
I
one
was
point he
freaking
started
out.
talking, but he had nowhere to go with the end of the sentence, and then I think addressed it, and then you said, I'm too high, and it didn't get like a reaction enough.
It got nothing. I also, dude, that was another podcast that I had, like, every fucking time I tried to interject, it either stunk or everybody talked over me. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm batting 0 right now. This is so fucking frustrating. And then, of course, I was like, why not smoke on top of it and just compound all of this nervousness and just miscommunication? At some point, I was like, I'm sleeping here. And it was like the funniest thing I said, and nobody heard it. Everybody was like in a dust ball with fists and legs coming out of it, and I'm just left on the outside in a vortex of self-doubt.
When you were smoking, you go, "Oh, this will be fun. I can't wait to drive home tonight."
Yeah, nobody laughed.
Yeah,
Everybody was worried. I was
Half
like,
the
cool.
audience laughed. The other half was like,
The
he's kidding, though, right?
worst part is that guy behind you going, "You got this, man.
Yeah.
You got."
That's
That
what
would
I'm
make me
saying.
fight that guy.
That would, no, or freak out.
I know. I'd be like, "Yeah, I know, man. I know I got this."
Yeah. So that was that.
So tune in.
And let's go to the questions.
Okay. You got your sound effects ready?
Lips are wet.
You are driving a train. Chugga, chugga, chugga. There's a
That's
girl.
way better.
Chugga, chugga, chugga.
I'm going to try it.
There's a girl that can do that on TikTok. She can like make that sound. Like the what? Dude, can we look this girl up really quickly? There's a girl who can do it again.
Do it again.
Do it
Try
again.
She
Try
go
it
like
again. That was better.
Kind of.
No. That's more like the
Yeah.
train whistle. Dude,
I'm getting
you
lightheaded.
sound like the chicken from Moana.
Do it again.
I'm getting lightheaded.
Do it again.
If I'll pass out.
Hey,
Do
we're
it.
in a chair.
I'll
I dare you to pass out.
Okay. I dare you to pass out.
Convoy. You couldn't sound less like a train. But I love that noise.
Man, there's a girl that can do that on TikTok so well.
Oh, that was wild.
All right, let's go into the. You are driving a train.
That's how far we got.
You are driving a train, and there are 2 possible tracks.
question. The second.
This is the second question. We're 22 minutes in.
Oh, we're releasing this one.
This
first.
one's first.
Yeah,
for sure. You are driving a train, and there are 2 possible tracks to drive on. The brakes are broken, and on each track is one of your co-host's mothers. Who do you kill?
I didn't catch any of that.
I didn't catch it, and I was reading it.
I caught it, and I know the answer, but I'll wait for you to read it again.
You are driving a train, and there are 2 possible tracks to drive on. The brakes are broken, and on each track is one of your co-host's mothers. Who do you kill?
Here's why it's your mom, Brendan.
All right.
It's because you don't have a
I'm
good
not
relationship.
opposed
You
yet.
don't have a good relationship with your mom.
I do. We've an okay.
Well-
Probably not as good as you guys.
Not as good as Mike and his
Yeah.
mother's. And so
Hang out with
just
them.
by proxy, you would be hurt the least by your mother being out of the picture. Is that a fair statement for the court? Does it
yeah.
plead the court?
I could agree to that, which I
Really?
I mean, I would be
yeah, I guess the
upset,
least.
but I might be I don't know.
the least
I
upset,
have
or
a
the
great
least
relationship with my mom.
Yeah,
I love my mom.
yeah, but
But
does she love you?
She can.
Your mom's
be-
hilarious, though. I
She is
rewatched that SAT clip whenever you
She's
posted
so
it recently,
funny, man.
and man, she had me crying, laughing.
yeah,
She's funny. I'm laughing
If
all the
you-
time at her.
you can handle it. Is just
Oh
such
my
a
god!
Yeah.
Like,
Go back and watch that. We asked
good.
my mom what my SATs was. I thought for sure I had like a 1300 at
which
least.
is how we knew we had to get her on the phone.
Yeah, and her famous line was, "Are you strong enough to be able to handle the real answer?"
Imagine if you
900.
just said no and hung up.
it was very a few good men of her.
Yeah, it was great. It was a perfect line.
Oh, can I just say, I just watched A Few Good Men for the first time.
3 for
3
3.
for 3.
Nice.
I just watched A Few Good Men for the first time on the airplane coming back this past weekend, and it is maybe one of the most overhyped movies of all time. I'll go so far as to say this. The problem with that movie is that the last third of it is in that courtroom. The courtroom scenes, the interrogation scenes are excellent acting, dramatic, heavy. Everything before that is like a 1990s big budget, a lot of stars in it, Hollywood movie that was way overacted. There was the guy who was like the Marine who you could tell was like an LA actor who was like, "Sir, yes, sir." Like he was like, "Sergeant, I did what I had to do for my men, sir."
He's
You know?
actively leaving like headshots in the scenes on the tables.
He's a theater actor.
He's
Played
a
a Marine.
theater. It was
Yeah.
a lot of theater actors. That seemed like
I've never seen it.
it's
I've never
and
Me
but
neither.
Yeah.
there's Tom Cruise is good in it. You know, Jack Nicholson. It's like
That's the scene, with, the one with "You Can't Handle the Truth."
yeah, that's it. You can't handle it.
I have a fun tidbit about Jack Nicholson from that movie because I believe I either listened to the rewatchable of that or just Bill Simmons really likes that movie in general.
Mhm.
But Jack Nicholson would stay for the reverse shots. So, like when the camera was a single on Tom Cruise or somebody like that, and typically actors of that stature or really any lead of a movie, they're kind of like, you don't have to be there. Go to your trailer,
yeah.
hang out. He was like, he'd do it and act it full.
Yeah.
And they were like, what do you do? Like, you don't have to do this or take an easy pass at it. And he's like, I fucking love acting.
Yeah.
He's like, this is what I'm doing, man.
It's also like, don't you want the best response from,
yeah.
Tom Cruise or
Well,
whatever?
that's a team player, dude, is
Yeah.
helping out on that level where you're like, yeah, I'm going to give it like 100. I'm going to throw 100 at you and then you react real.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad about him though.
Jack
What?
Nicholson?
Yeah,
Don't be sad. He's lived the best life.
Yeah, he's doing great. Or he did great.
Yeah, now he just
and now
can't
he's
remember all the
coasting.
pussy he got.
Yeah.
Does he have dementia?
he's had dementia for about like 20 years. In
The Departed,
in
he had
the-
a fob,
yeah,
Whoa.
he had a thing in his ear. He couldn't
Fed-
remember
fed the
any of the
lines.
lines and just was like,
which is
but
pretty
I
incredible.
think he's
how
been
good he
doing
is
that
now.
for a
He's
while.
great
I
in
think
that
he's
movie.
been doing that for like a couple movies. But yeah, he was.
Oh, it's like Marlon
Boston accent
Brando.
stunk, but other than that, he was lovely.
Yeah. Well, going back to the mother's question, in my thought process is who would I like to see do material about their mom getting hit by a
That's-
train
okay.
more?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think you'd both come up with funny shit, but I think Canon, I would love to see your
I'll do it now.
material on that.
I'll write it. I'll take that as an exercise.
I don't think you could.
I will falsify my mother's death in my brain. She's dead to me now.
Okay.
I've shut off the love.
All right. Yours would, yeah, it would both be very good, but I think Mike would. I'd like to see that.
So you're killing his mom.
Yeah, I'll kill his entire family
That's cool.
just to see the 15 minutes he gets from it.
15.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's not a lot. I feel like I'd stretch that to an hour. I'd do a
Yeah,
full
I mean,
show.
Well, the next hour is
Yeah,
about.
don't knock Mama off the train part 2.
Yeah.
Mama's under the train.
What's your answer?
I don't know. I've met Feeney's mom way more than I don't think I've ever even met your mom.
No,
In real life.
no, you've just talked to her on the phone.
Yeah, I've definitely met your dad. And he wasn't very warm, but I met your
No.
mom, and she's lovely. So I guess I'll put a bazooka to Miss Sagalow.
Okay. All right. Well,
Boom.
are we convoying on all killing my mom? Oh,
No,
I didn't
you
say that. Hey, let's do it.
Convoy Sagalow.
Did we answer Kelly Winterbots?
How could we ever know? Just
We
say
didn't
it.
because it's not a question. It was a very nice statement, but I think
Great.
we're out. So we are going to go to the big. Thank you everybody for
Submitting.
Let's just do plugs. Yeah, thanks everybody for submitting to the questions and all that stuff. If you want to do that, here's a scenario.com, and whoever wants to go first on the plugs.
Sure. Yeah, here's the scenario.com has everything. So it's got the social media, links to iTunes, wherever you stream podcasts. If you want to support us free of charge, a little bit of effort on your part, subscribe to the podcast, rate and review. It helps it bump up to the algorithm. Also, so, share it with friends, obviously, but subscribe to the YouTube, follow us on social media, all of that stuff. Might not mean that much to you guys, but like we've said many times, it's actual currency to us. We have a bunch of new listeners every single week, so we'd love those numbers to start reflecting what our socials are, et cetera, et cetera. So just here's the scenario.com for all that. And then if you want to support us further financially, go to patreon.com/scenariopod. We do 2 bonus episodes per week. One that's similar to this show, a bit looser, but basically the same. I mean, we've told some stories on this one as well, so I think we're just feeling out the format. It's obviously still a young show, so we're still kind of like, batting around exactly what we're doing.
preteens.
It's great. We are preteens. We just got our first pubes. We're dry humping through jeans.
This is very formative years for the podcast.
That's right. Formative. So, then we do a bonus Friday episode. So that's 2 per week. And everybody from the $5 tier up gets both of those, be it audio, video, whatever. Check out the tiers. But then all of our additional content, Feeney has his solo pod where he does an exclusive bonus section for our Patreon. Sagalow's got the weight loss journey, and boy, is it a slog. And I got all of my additional
Isn't that the
shit.
point?
Yeah, I got all my additional shit. Mike Takes Edibles. I got a new web series coming out called I'll Fight You with Mike Cannon, where I break down fight film with my expertise and general rage. And it's a lot of fun. We have a shitload of stuff over there. It's probably the best bang for your buck you can get on Patreon. And then individually, I got dates coming up. So MikeCannonComedy.com, December 10th through the 11th. I'm going to be in North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Wilmington, Dead Crow Comedy Room, Sag Daddy DeGaude is coming with me. It's going to be very fun. 4 shows, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. Buy tickets, selling ticks. And then later in January, the 6th through the 8th, I'm in Austin, Texas at the Creek in the Cave. Very fun. KP Burke, past guest of Irish Goodbye podcast, is going to be there with me. And then I'll be in Boston, Connecticut, you name it. Dates are coming flying in. So Mike Cannon.
You name it. Sorry.
Yeah. And then keep your ears out. February, I'm filming my next hour in New York. So keep your ear out for tickets. I'd like to sell that out so goddamn quick that I do not have to even consider it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And just individually, because I'm only in North Carolina with Mike, just follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/sags2riches. And Twitter and Instagram, obviously. And subscribe to my YouTube. My special is up there. I put the weight loss stuff up there also. So just support that stuff. Thank you. Shit. That shit.
Are you still listening? Have you plus
I know I'm
enough
not.
times? Yeah.
They're still on plug.
Here's a scenario. Come to see me at Seattle Laughs,
There it
December
is.
10th and 11th. That's this weekend. If you know people in Seattle, come this weekend, Seattle, 10th and 11th at Laughs. And then later on, I'll be at Uncle Vinny's, and I'll be at Mohegan Sun, and I'll be at Laughs in Boston. So you can get tickets, MikeFeeneyComedy.com. But more importantly,
I
come out to
know
Laughs
it's
in
I
Seattle.
know it's a lot of plugs, but I have listened to an old episode of IGP and remember when we had nothing to fucking plug.
Yeah.
So the fact that we do have a dense plug portion of the podcast is both, obviously, we're apologetic about it, but it's great because that just means that you guys are helping grow our careers collectively and individually.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
We also, I think we're looking at it like we're being annoying when I think a lot of people are probably like, I would love to know when you're in my city. Just say,
Sure.
Just say
Yeah.
Washington and I'll try to find you.
We have a lot of people asking us to come to Canada together.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, we also were doing a gig together.
Oh, yeah. I got to send the staff.
Oh, yeah.
Totally forgot.
Totally forgot.
When
Yeah,
is that?
He's waiting.
Is that March?
He's waiting.
He did follow up twice about it.
Him like tapping his toe.
Yeah, we will be
Sonic.
Yeah.
we will be doing at the Emmaus Theater, I think it's called.
Mhm.
Looks like we don't really know.
Emmaus Theater, Saturday, March 26th.
Where's that?
Day before my birthday.
2022. It's in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
It's 90 minutes outside of New York.
Yeah, are we doing stand-up and pod?
I think we can do whatever we want.
Well, look at us.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the big book of if.
It's in Emmaus, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Sounds highly populated.
Oh, you know where it is? You know where it is? It's right next to Allentown
Oh,
Nice.
and Bethlehem.
Should I
Great.
private that video? Man, so many people from Allentown are like legitimately upset at that video.
Oh,
on
you might
YouTube.
get killed.
Yeah.
Maybe this is
Come
all
to Allentown and find
But
out.
I thought
Feeney.
the joke was that I say
What?
fuck this town and I clearly mean this one woman and show. Like, I thought that was like the joke. And I got food poisoning for being an idiot. But people just hear. People just hear things, man.
People just hear whatever they want
All right,
to
let's
hear,
get
dude.
Let's get it.
Okay. This here's a question. If you could be buried anywhere, where would it be? Does it really matter? I want to get buried in Nicole's apartment.
Next to her rats.
Yeah, I want to have a little cremation.
Oh, that'd be
urn.
fun if you could shred you up so you're like the newspaper in the rat cage.
Yeah, I'd get,
Can I ask
get a
you
week
this?
out of me.
A scenario off that scenario. What if we put you, dead body Sagalow, freshly dead, into a coffin, and inside the coffin we put one of Nicole's rats, and then we bury it? How long can that rat survive on just you?
On me, probably. Well, no, because my meat would go bad, and then it wouldn't eat me. Right?
But that's the question. So how long? But I think a rat is also
How
got
long
a
does
pretty
it take-
strong stomach. They can eat some bad shit. They're eating out of the
How long does
ground,
it take for
gutter.
a dead body to go?
Yeah,
rotten?
rats can eat through formaldehyde.
Yeah, them bone.
I think that rat's
Yeah.
living for years.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, assuming there's some sort
He's
of
opening
oxygen.
a townhouse
Yeah.
on my foot.
Starts a little rat colony.
Yeah.
What do you
yeah.
think? I wonder what the real.
We have
I
been
mean,
blessed by the Lord.
a month. I would say a month,
How long does it take for a body to decompose?
but it won't.
Years.
It'd be
Years.
eating you. Yeah, years.
A month, then. Yeah. Would it eat my bones?
Well, that's weird because the
has so
meat
much-
probably goes bad, and then it probably gets to be like jerky. You know?
Yeah.
It's like it's cured.
yeah. Death scares me.
All right, but anyway,
Does it?
go back to the other.
Pussy ass
As of
bitch.
now,
Go back to the other scenario though.
if you could be buried anywhere,
Yes.
where would it be?
Pussy ass.
Pussy Ass Beach. I'm gonna say Switzerland.
I want to be cremated
It's the
and
only
then
time you'll visit.
Yeah.
cremated
dead.
and then brought up into like a hot air balloon over Beverly Hills and then scattered all around, and that way there's like hard chunks of my bone that are coming down and like hitting
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds and
Do it-
Taylor
do it
Swift
right
and all these
over-
people on the heads that are just like, what is this? And then we have I have a plane flying behind it that has one of those long messages on it, and it goes, you can't get everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna say should have hired me when you had the
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, well, that's
we'll
the mini plane behind it holding another smaller one. Told you I'd get there, Ma.
Yeah. We'll pour you over the Fox lot.
We're
Yeah.
really a 9021L, mama.
He always wanted to be in a movie.
Black skies, you know?
I want to be stuffed. Like I want to be stuffed.
We're talking
in a
about when you
position.
die, though.
Yeah.
I want.
You mean in
that's
bed?
hilarious.
You are dumb.
You're dumb.
It took you so long.
I was thinking of my answer.
I
Now I want Wendy's or Shake Shack. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, I want to be stuffed and like positioned in the hall, just like,
Yeah.
or in a funny like butler way where I'm just standing with like a napkin over my arm in a
Yeah.
tux. That would be so fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
Hi,
"Hi,
Dad."
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, we just nail some fucking things into you so you could be a hat rack.
I feel like
Why would
which
you
one of us
desecrate my body like that?
which of us could hold a position longest, you think, without like
Not
blinking?
me. I shiver.
I bet. Well, you've got a bad arm.
But this isn't too taxing.
No. Yeah, you have a heavy arm.
Yeah, yours
Yeah.
is gonna
I don't want to do that.
gravity's gonna
I don't want to do that,
I want them to make a remake
dude.
of the Willy Wonka factory.
Dude, you snap in and out of being an 8-year-old,
It's
and it is
crazy.
and I don't even think you're hearing it.
You don't know.
I hear it. I
You-
know what I'm
No,
doing.
you know
once
after.
You don't
said
think I
it.
know what I'm
You
doing?
know after.
You've talked to me when I'm not. What do you mean?
You don't think I know what I'm doing?
I know what I'm doing.
You don't have full consciousness of what you're doing
Yeah.
at all times. You know,
You're
after,
part baby.
after when we react, you're like, I'm an 8-year-old.
Maybe sometimes.
Just now.
Maybe sometimes, but not just now.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe, I don't know. Here's my answer. They replicate Willy Wonka's factory, dress my dead body up like Augustus whatever, and stuff me in a fucking pipe. Augustus Glump or whatever his name is. What's the name of the kid?
Augustus Gloop.
Augustus Glue. They put me in his fucking
What is this
outfit.
from?
Willy
Glue.
Wonka.
His last name is not Glue.
What is it?
Gloop.
Gloop. Augustus Gloop. Sorry. And put me in a pipe with a bunch of chocolate. Like have it.
This is so involved. They're spending millions to recreate this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spare
They
no
got it.
offense.
That's a huge pipe.
Just to
They got
build the factory will take years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, put me in a freezer.
We'll start it now, and then by the time you die in 18 months, it'll be half ready. And then by the time it's
You are
ready,
going to regret that when I die in 18 months.
No, I'll actually post it as a clip
I will
and be
tell-
like,
yeah, you
called
called
it.
it. Yeah, you'll do
shades
that.
and a cigarette.
You'll do that every year.
That's what you want to be is you want to,
Well, I'm not going to be alive, but yeah.
but you want to
Add me to
gum
the
up
thing.
the
Yeah, every
piping.
time I want them to make 5 dead bodies into the like a horror house of this shit and use real dead bodies. And have that fucking girl falling through the goose thing and that
Turn blue.
shrunken guy and the girl Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
I don't know if I've ever sat down to watch this whole movie.
Oh, you'll be.
That's so strange.
All right.
I'm
This is a
just
preview
saying.
for next week's episode, gang. This is the genesis.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
This is
Even
oh
though
my
we
God.
recorded in
We're
reverse.
creating the
That's
origin
why I was
story.
mad last episode.
Yeah, 'cause-
Next episode.
Tenant the podcast. Here's another question. If you could ensure one single personality trait in your children, what would you want it to be?
Personality. Any of our
Confidence.
personality traits or ones that we currently
Love.
It's not a person.
Ensure one single personality trait, just a personality trait. You don't
Yeah,
think
love isn't one.
Loving.
Loving is one, I guess. Personality trait.
Intelligence.
Intelligence is great.
Because here's the thing: if you say
Intelligence
kindness,
is
that's
great.
lovely, but that doesn't help anybody succeed. That doesn't
Happiness.
prepare anybody for the world. It
Yeah.
does make you nice to be around, but outside of that, it doesn't really benefit you at all. So that's out. Funny. We've seen what that does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want my
you
kid to
into
be funny
trouble.
at all.
Happiness.
But happiness, you could be dumb and be happy.
It's also
So
not
what?
a personality.
Who cares?
trait.
I want
your-
my kid,
your
I
life
want
will
my kid to
suck
be
you to
happy.
be
I don't care if my
happy.
kid's dumb.
It's not a personality trait. It's
Happiness?
a state of mind.
The happy
true.
guy. Well, Jim Carrey in that show, Happy, right?
You can't be permanently happy.
Talk to
And you
Mr.
can't-
talk to Mr. Rogers about that.
I mean, I'm sure
He's
there was
dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, but not. He died of being too happy. He OD'd.
He died of ball cancer.
He died of happiness.
Yeah,
Did he die of ball cancer?
know.
of a run-in with a rogue cardigan.
I just thought that was the opposite of happiness.
Yeah, ball cancer.
All right, what's next?
Dude, do you ever like feel around on your balls and like you catch a
I'm always
clip of the
feeling my-
vas deferens and you're just like, that's cancer?
No. What is that? A vas deferens?
That's the hose that's attached to your nuts.
Oh, no.
You never mistake that.
One
for
time
it
I had
to
a
be
lump
tumor?
on my balls, but that just went away. You've never had that?
18 months.
Nicole, have you had a lump on your balls that just went away?
No, I still have one.
Nice. If you could run any single
Bam.
if you could run any single company, institution, or organization in the world, which would you choose?
Carhartt.
They're making a lot of money off Brooklyn teens
Do what?
Yeah.
and me.
Do what? Was the question?
Any organization
If you could
or
run any
company?
single company, institution, or organization in the world, what would you choose? Amazon, so I can rule the world.
Amazon's a great answer at this point. That's like Succession level.
Yeah.
Where you
It's
just have-
beyond. That's beyond. Succession. I actually just started watching it.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't really like it, but
Wow.
it's fine.
What season are you on?
First,
Good
but
season.
they are supposed to be the Murdochs, and they're like the 4th largest media company in the world, which
Yeah.
is obviously huge. But Amazon is the biggest company, like
Yeah.
especially in goods and shit like that. So that's as if they
I
are.
would love to live as just Jeff Bezos for a couple of days, for like a week. See what
I'm
his
sure he
weekend
wakes
is
up like his alarm clock is
sure
a
it's-
woman eating his asshole.
Yeah.
What I love it.
Good morning.
What I love
with a big clock like mask on.
What I like is the fact that they can
That
just,
lacked the charm of Feeney's.
yeah. They had so much. They can outsource so much of their work when you're that level. Like that's what they always do in Succession. They just can like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk forward, and I know there's gonna be people listening to my orders, and I never have to look them in the eye. I just
Yeah.
go, get me Wallace on the phone. Tell him I'm not coming in. You go get me a croissant.
yeah.
You
Call the
go over there and get
president.
me a coffee. Tell the president, fuck off, and then you
tell the
fucking
president,
walk away.
Fuck off.
And then you turn around and they're all gone, and you're like, I hope they're doing my bidding.
And because if they're not, they're all fired.
They're all
then.
fired.
I think I'd be. I think I'd run the NFL, and I would run it in the exact opposite way of Roger Goodell, in the sense that I would just embrace the whiteness of
Yeah.
it and the white fan, and just be like, no kneeling. There will be no mention of politics. We are
That's
being
great.
good old boy pieces of shit very openly here,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we are
yeah.
going to make billions of dollars.
yeah,
We are football NASCAR.
yeah.
Dude, that'd be sick to have NASCARs on a football field.
Yeah.
That would be cool if
Be
he
like
basically
polo,
are,
except
dude.
It'd be like they'd have to reach their hand out of the
Isn't that like that
NASCAR?
soccer game on PS4 or whatever? The
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Would you rather get struck by a NASCAR car going around the thing,
Yes.
or tackled by like a quarterback at
a quarterback?
like
yeah,
not a
that-
you
quarterback,
are
like a
so unknowledgeable.
a
Or
sports,
sorry, a
a
kicker.
sportsman, a
Yeah,
man,
sorry, a tough guy, a punter.
a tough guy, a goon.
Oh, I would obviously
a thug.
definitely rather get hit by any single person on the planet than by a NASCAR doing 180 miles an
Dude, I
hour.
I would rather
200
get hit by a
around
car.
Yeah, I'd
around
rather
the
be
turn.
a-
I figured.
I'd rather
be a
a cloud of blood.
No.
yeah, I want to be in like the boys when she gets fucking ran
Yeah.
through.
I want to.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to. I want to survive it. So, and then I will monetize my
No, you
story.
don't.
monetize your story. How? By
Tom
collecting
Brady,
numbers?
the
You're gonna be
the
brain
All
dead.
Star.
Do you remember when that guy
Yeah,
shit, I
brain
forget
dead.
I forget who it was, but I did an
Tackle.
episode of the Weed News on it. That's how
I used to
long
watch
ago
that.
it was. Thank you. Been a fan since day
I've
one.
been a
Brendan.
fan since
Thank you.
day one.
So there was a NASCAR guy. I think his name was Bubba something, but he
Sparks.
no, he got out. Nicole, maybe you can find this, but he got out of his car, and maybe it wasn't
Bubba
Bubba
Wallace.
Wallace. That's a recent guy, but he got out of his car and was like yelling at a guy who like bumped him into the wall or something like that, and the guy like killed him by mistake. Like a car came by and fucking just and hit him or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, they blamed it on the fact that he was high. They're like, he had marijuana in his system, so
Oh.
he was. That's
Why
I
can't you
remember
just
that
blame it on
story.
what it was.
Yeah.
That he walked out of the car.
Well, yeah. And first of all, if I'm high, and I think I said this even back then, but if I'm high, the last place that I want to be is outside of my car on a rumbling dirt track with
Yeah.
cars doing 190
Yeah.
miles per. That
I'm back, baby.
you are
Yeah.
back.
That was
Yeah.
great. That was great.
Yeah, your ring just sent shockwaves through my bones.
I felt
You hit me on a knuckle that was like the spot of my body. Apparently, that's like my cum spot.
I heard it clink against your bone.
Dude, that's like hitting.
Oh my God.
That's like Little League hitting one right in the middle of the barrel.
I felt like I just put a Guinness glass on a brass ring at a bar.
It's not over.
Your fingers are like little metal poles.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You got metal pole fingies.
Next question.
They're pointy. If you had to select any single man-made object that best represents your personality, what would it be? A man-made object that represents your personality.
I know yours.
All right.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
A lazy
Cheeseburger.
Susan.
A cheeseburger. A lazy
That's
Susan
it.
is great.
That's it.
I'm not lazy.
You spin in circles and kinda help, but you mostly stay still.
These are all. This is all.
He gently goes back and
kind of
forth.
help. That's,
But if
that
anything,
is
if
good.
any
That is
amount,
good.
if
I'm
one too
liking
many,
it now.
if more than a couple things are placed on his plate
I
at once,
stop
it
and
goes
trip.
flying
Yeah.
off, or it comes to a complete stop.
comes to a complete stop.
Yeah, it's a lazy Susan, but the track broke.
Yeah, it's an older lazy Susan.
You're like a fucking thumbtack.
Nice.
You're useful and you're helpful, but people use you for evil, and you're mostly annoying.
Who uses thumbtacks for evil? Mankind?
Simpson?
Like, yeah, what are you talking
Dennis
about?
the Menace? I don't know.
That's more like playful kid fun.
Yeah, which
Dennis
is
the Menace
you.
did it.
I'm
Which
a
is
pocket
you.
pussy.
You're a flashlight?
Yeah, I'm a
Fleshlight.
recently used fleshlight before the person musters up the energy to clean it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're a single blade, old school razor. You know what I mean? Like an old brass one. That's just like
yeah,
you used it in the mountains. You know? And then it's
Yeah,
like,
you
it's
catch
just-
it on a bad day, it's gonna hurt you.
Yeah. There's
like
weight
that.
to it, but it's only a single
like-
blade. And then you're sitting there being like, dry shave, puss. You know?
Yeah.
I like that.
My buddy used to be able to dry shave with it. He would take like a blade, like one of those comedy camp ones that we have.
Yeah.
He'd be able to just go
Ugh.
and go up there. Because he did like basic
And
training.
his
so he was
skin never.
initially in the beginning, yeah, it's pretty bad. But then once you do it, you get like an even tighter shave. And they do that in like when he was in basic training and stuff. They like taught everybody how to do that because like, you won't always have shaving cream or even access to water. But then it becomes a thing where it's
How
like
tight do
people
you
like
I'm
need
to do
growing
it.
a Lieutenant Dan beard.
Yeah, how
If I'm in the military, like I wouldn't fucking. I'd rather
they
that
make
than
you
take
cut
a
that
knife.
off,
Then they can do it.
and they will.
All right.
Just like in A Few Good Men, the company takes care of it and cleanses itself. It's a self-sustaining organism.
Mm.
That's what happens when there's someone breaking in.
That sounded like it. It scared me.
Is this a B&E? All right.
Ah,
And
I would
see,
like
question.
bacon, egg, and cheese.
B and G.
I'm hungry.
A B, E, and G.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. If you can gain total memory of 1 year of your life so far, which year would you pick? What does that
you
mean?
like redo? You mean?
If you can gain total memory,
Oh,
what does that mean?
that'd be to have every memory you had of that year.
Oh.
I mean, you know, obviously anything in my last 15 years, I got a pretty good memory of. But there's so many. Like my childhood kind of blends. Like it's
Teen
all.
years,
It doesn't
yeah.
have any hard edges on it in terms of when
Yeah.
they're like when this part of my life started, when this ended. It'd
Have
be
you
good-
ever had a good year?
No.
good year?
Like a
full-
good year? Like just a year where you're like, whoa, I can't believe
I'm having
that
a
was-
pretty good year right now. Yeah.
Okay.
I would do like my teenage years. I'd go back to and like
Like
look-
a
Yeah,
year?
like 18 when I was like heartbroke. I would like to
What
look
about
at that.
16? Right? Because then you're like a sophomore.
16's great.
You're a sophomore in
yeah.
high school, right? So you already know like what, you know, the deal is with high school. So you don't have that freshman weird energy. So you've made some friends. You feel like you can, you know, at least you're above. You're not the lowest on the totem pole,
Mhm.
but you're not, you know, fucked with as much by seniors and juniors and that kind of thing. And then you also, I think you start being able to drive. You start you're at your height of your angst against like anti everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was depressed. That didn't make me feel good. I think 7th grade.
7th
I
grade.
think 7th grade was the height of my life. I dated Nicole for 8 months, wife, not producer, and I made the A team, the modified A team, the middle
Nice.
school A team as a 7th grader. There were only 2 of us or 3 of us,
Uh-huh.
and I started, and then I chipped my tooth. But it was just a good year overall. I remember having a lot of confidence, and
But you remember all that.
yeah, but I don't remember all of it. I don't remember each individual game that I played. I don't remember each individual day. I don't have the full, like, non-vague scope
there were
of what
some-
I went through.
There were some like track meets from high school that I wish I could go back because I did a lot of that too towards the end, and that all kind of like I remember there was when we would go up to the Bronx for like the Armory. That was
Yeah.
like a what? And what's crazy about those are, we talked about that. We have those right, you know, it's the track, but it's an indoor track and it's raised and the
Yeah.
sides are banked, so you have to like turn, and it was made of like a carpet material kind of
Yeah.
a thing. So when you
Yeah.
fell, you just lost
Oof.
your whole
Oof.
leg and arm.
Ugh.
But there were some of those where it was like I was never like a track star, like winning a bunch of things. But there was times it was like I won high jump and
Yeah.
other stuff. I'm like, oh, I wish I can go back to that. That's fun.
The way memories occur to me, it makes me like distrust everything. Like
Yeah.
I don't
I get
I don't know what is real and
Right.
what isn't, especially
Yeah.
considering what we do because we've just basically punched up our lives
Yeah.
in certain situations, and it's like, yeah, that's now my past.
Oh, there
Yeah,
are
like,
so
that's
many
my path.
things
Also,
from my
your-
childhood that I have talked about that now I'm like, Whether it is or isn't what happened, there's no way
I
for
have
me
no
to.
idea.
I'll take a lie detector test and wouldn't be able to tell you
Right,
the
yeah.
truth. So I have no idea.
Yeah, like I used to, I would be like, man, in high school and shit, I just never gave a fuck. And I was like, no, I did. But in
All
my
I
own
did,
head I was like, I don't give a fuck. But I was a drama queen, you know?
And that's why I even asked the question of have you ever had a good year is because like overall you can look back and be like, oh, that was a good year. Like I got this, and this done. But I don't remember having like, and I'm sure nobody has, but I'd be interested, is like just a free and clear 12 months where you didn't hate yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't have any, not any negative feelings, but that just wasn't the over encapsulating feeling that you had about yourself. And you were just like positive and moving in the right direction, motivated, succeeding, being affirmed for your efforts. It's like, a lot of that shit, especially with comedy, is the more I'm thinking about it, it's like, it's all self-perseverance.
Yeah.
Like it's all reframing certain situations and trying to turn the negative no's and all that shit into positives, and eventually they do become that. Like just the general idea that we haven't been gifted anything. We've now created this. We've been forced to create all the other shit that we've made and filmed and produced and all that stuff. So that is a net positive and a great thing. But it's still like it's not the thing that we set out to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird. So I don't know. I'm just thinking in terms of like, there are people that just have like an easy year where it's just like fucking green lights, baby. You can't believe it. Like it's everything is just coming up you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I've ever had that.
I've never had a easy year, but I would say like this year's a good year, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
2019 was like that for me because I was like, full-time comedy and the special and all the road work leading up to that. That was like a pretty good year. Like the first 2 months of that year weren't great, or even like the first month. But then after that, it was like, yeah. But then it also got like the elation ended and then went right into 2020, March 2020. Being on the road in March 2020 when it was like everything was starting to shut down and you're like, no. Things are going well.
That
please,
was a nightmare.
Please don't. So it feels like it's one of those, would you rather have loved and lost than to have never loved at all?
Well, we were both in a similar situation where it was like, my special came out end of January 2020. I sold out my first weekend at that fucking Portland room, Empire. Great
They're not
room.
back open, right?
No. It sucks. That room was really great. I hope they figure out a way. But then was like on Comedy Central a few times for the Cellar show, and then it all then I'm living with Mario.
We got time for one more.
One more question. Here we go.
Has this been our best episode or our worst episode?
I love it. Here's
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B,
and a little bit of Columbine.
Nicole,
yeah,
what do
a little
you
bit
think?
of Columbine.
Fantastic. You're crushing it.
Yeah, next week, sorry.
Brendan and Mike are deciding to get into a thing.
We're having one of our quarrels, our unspoken quarrels that we have every couple of weeks. If you could decide how to spend, no, we've done this before. It was like how to spend your last day alive.
Okay.
If you could decide what will be written on your gravestone, have we done that? We've done something like that. Okay. If you had to choose the single most valuable thing you've ever learned, what would it be? The most valuable
I feel
thing.
like we've also done that, but
yeah, that's.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you.
it's
My most valuable thing that I've ever
anything.
learned is like weirdly not even applicable anymore. So the
invest in Google.
No, the best advice that my dad ever gave me, because I was very excited that I was good at sports when I was a kid. So I would, as kids do, brag, just unabashedly talk about my accomplishments and how good I was at certain things, not understanding that that's just grating for people to fucking hear.
Yeah.
So the best advice that my dad gave me was let your bat do the talking. He's like, nobody needs to hear your bullshit.
Yeah.
Let your play and your bat, and when you're playing baseball, you hitting the ball, let that speak for you. Let that tell people you're good.
Yeah.
And that's like excellent advice until now, when your talking is worth way more than what your bat could ever do.
Yeah.
The bullshit you could spin in your life story and how you can frame it and make it motivational and make dumb people feel smart or make smart people feel dumb, like any type of this manipulation, it's all in the talk.
Yeah.
The bat thing is like no longer, I mean, obviously, whatever, but that's in my opinion.
It's very applicable to comedy now because it's like
for sure.
it's not about the play, being the funny. It's just about the online presence and the followers and how can you
but it's story, it's narrative. Like,
sure,
I learned this in advertising, actually. Like, it was the first thing that made me, like, I had the Bill Hicks bit like playing in my head about how advertisers are the most evil people. And I'm sitting there when I used to work at this company and I'm listening to them discuss how they're manipulating the public, basically, like the way that they go about it. They're like, hold up 2 eggs. They're like, this egg will sell for 400% more than this one when we attach a backstory to it.
Whoa.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what comedy has become, I mean, social media influencers, musicians, anybody in the public eye. It's more about the perception and the story and the stuff that you could create around you than it is even about what you do, because what you do just becomes a public appearance where people are like, I'm with this person that has motivated me. And so who's to say if it's even worse or better, because the people are still responding to it in a positive way by allowing it to motivate them somehow.
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe we're just finding out that comedy and everything is bullshit and we all should just tell each other to keep going.
Yeah. It's like, exactly.
That's the show, everybody. Thank you very much for listening and watching.
Keep going.
Yeah.
We love
Join
it.
the Patreon.
We love you. Here's the Scenario is Mike Feeney, Mike Cannon, and Brendan Sagalow. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcast. For more information about the show, visit here'sthescenario.com.
The Scenario.